All right, Shalom. We're the brothers of Great Millstone, the branch out of Des Moines. First and foremost, we would like to give all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kakodash.
divine us to our apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all you brothers preaching the gospel in truth and sincerity, always in charity. And as you can see, the title of the lesson is entitled Spirit Like the Wind, which means another week out in the highways and hedges. Thwadi Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, for continually giving us of His Holy Spirit to go out into the lanes and the streets of the city, the chief place of concourse, as the scriptures call it. You know, in order to prophesy the downfall of this present evil world, in order to speak the words of truth, you know, so that the Holy Spirit can gather the Lord's elect, you know, and the water for Yahweh Basham Yahushua putting the Spirit in us to gather for these Spirit Like the Wind lessons. Lord will, we hope it's edifying, you know, and we're getting closer to that the election day, you know. Well, I believe it's Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken.
Tuesday.
You know, which we gonna see, you know, what Yahweh Basham Yahushua has planned, you know, for this place, man. You know, whether he's gonna put the spirit of sedition has already been put out there, but whether the Lord is actually gonna allow it to manifest, you know, in a form of violence, right? Because you have these good old boys that supporting Trump. They saying if he don't win, then there's gonna be this and there's gonna be that, and who the bam, you know. So we hoping that Yahweh Basham Yahushua, man, you know, put these words into effect, you know, to show sedition among these people, man, so it can get violent, you know, so great judgment can start running rampant throughout the earth, you know. Go ahead.
This is Mark 3:26. If Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand, but hath an end. Here it is in the NLT. Actually, that's not the one.
The one that says silver wood.
Yeah, Khan.
Yeah, Mark.
That is the Mark.
Yeah, this is Mark that I'm reading. Yeah, let me start up. This is Mark 3 and verse 24. It says, and if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. In the NLT, it says, a kingdom divided by civil war will collapse. And like the brother said, there's already a great separation, you know, because of this election, you know, because of the politics, man. And each side is pretty much ready for war, regardless of who gets in the office, and that's how they're staging it, because they're staging it to where whoever gets in office, the other side is going to think that they're in there because it was, you know, it was rigged. Wow, that's the perfect word, because it was rigged. So if Trump gets in there, then the other side's thinking that it was rigged, and if Kamala gets in there, then, you know, the Trump supporters is thinking that it's rigged. So it's gonna continue to separate, and whether it happens, you know, on Wednesday, you know, the day after the election, or Tuesday, the day of the election, that either way, this place is gonna be war within America. It says that the Lord will set Egyptian against Egyptian.
It eventually is going to happen.
Exactly.
You know, but we hoping that it happen real soon, man.
Mm-hmm.
Very soon. Hey, because the Lord's words does not come back void. You know, he said these things would take place, so they will take place. We're just hoping that, you know, it takes place Tuesday. It takes place Wednesday.
Shit, Monday.
You see? So what happens to it today, if any, you know, but
yesterday.
You know, just speaking on the events and how the Lord got these things lined up, you know, we hoping something sparks and pops off on Tuesday, man, or Wednesday, you know, or from that time period from November when they decide or they announce who wins, all the way into January to when they actually takes office, man. Anything can happen in between that. You know, they can declare Trump the winner, and then from the time point where they declare it on Tuesday all the way to January, anything can happen in between there, man. You know, they can fake this nigga death. You know, because a lot of these, you know, which, you know, the Lord is, he killeth and maketh alive, man. You know, so the Lord takes people off the earth. So not to say that people ain't actually dropping dead, but a lot of these high profile figures, like all this question marks surrounding Epstein, whether he alive and he dead, and what was the secret with his body when he died and all that. a lot of these high elite dudes, man, they just duck off in the corner somewhere.
Yep.
You know, like they did with what was that guy with Russo? They tried to say that he didn't exist. Yeah, they just, you know, that nigga, he never existed. No, they just had that nigga, look, take a back seat now, man. You know, stay out of the public light.
Yeah, stay out of the public eye.
Yeah, so that's pretty much what it, you know, what they do with certain high profile individuals, man. You know, and how they try to fake his death and say that this and that, so they can pull them, they can actually kill Trump ass. They can fake his death, so that these people can think, you know. So it's a lot of different avenues and ways that the Lord can perform these things, man.
Yeah.
You know,
Because what you've been seeing a lot lately is them taking public figures that people love and basically just destroying their image and just destroying them, you know. And what does that do? That demoralizes the minds of the people. So that's not far fetched, you know. But like the brother said, we're gonna see. But I got a precept, if I may. This is Ezekiel 24 and 9. Thus saith Yahweh power, woe to the bloody city. I will even make the powerful fire great. Heap on wood, kindle the fire, consume the flesh, spice it well, and let the bones be burned. So, hey, man, the Lord's spicing this thing up. He's stirring up the pot, man, here in Babylon the Great, man. You know, by fomenting all this division, man, and things are getting spicy, man. You know, so we're going to see, you know, what's going to happen on that election day, you know. But like the brother said, either way, it's not going to end well, man.
Right.
You know.
Going back into that mark, it said that it hath an end. It's already divided, all right? In the election, whoever the winner is going to further divide it, showing that this place, we're in the end of this place.
And the Lord showed that Esau's, see this last power structure of Esau, Edom, of these heathen, the Lord already ordained it not to gel together in the first place. When we read that in Daniel, the 2nd chapter, when it was a prophecy, right? So now we're living it.
Yeah.
You know,
They're not clear.
it ain't prophecy no more, because we're living in that time period now, man. You know, where he said that the clay would not mix with the iron, man, so that they would be divided from the beginning.
Yeah.
So it had an end from the beginning. You know, but go ahead with your brief.
This is Jeremiah 51, starting 45. I'm reading the NLT. It says, "Come out, my people, flee from Babylon, save yourselves, run from the Lord's fierce anger." And the way that we do that in the book of Ezekiel, the 18th chapter, it says, "If the wicked turn away from his wickedness and do which is lawful and right, he shall both save his soul alive." You know, so repentance, according to the proper doctrine, the proper word, like it says in the book of Timothy, all right, it says, "Take heed unto yourself and to the doctrine, continue in them. If thou do so, thou shalt both save thyself and them that hear thee." So taking heed to this proper doctrine through repentance, all right, will cause us to flee from the midst of Babylon. That's what it means, man. But it says, "But do not panic. Don't be afraid when you hear the first rumor of approaching forces, for rumors will keep coming year by year." And we've been warning you of all these different rumors of all these different things, even the possibilities with the election and so on and so forth, right? We're telling you what exactly is going to happen as far as this is what the Lord says, you know, but how it unfolds, we even warn you of these different rumors. Well, this could happen, martial law can happen through a pandemic. It could be medical, martial LAW, you know, or all these different things that even speaking about, you know, the election, you know, you got the war over there in the Middle East that's continuing to them flames being turned up even more and more, right? But let's say an attack happens or so on and so forth like that, they can declare, you know, martial LAW, right? That would keep the ruling power, in power at that time, the president at that time, you know. So different things can happen, man. All right, but we warn you of all these different things, man. It says just like the person on the watchtower, if they see something out there, they finna sound the alarm, you know. They finna look out like, well, hold on, what is that? What is that over there? They're being alert and letting you know, nah, this could be this, that could be enemy forces, all right. You know, so that's the same thing through the spirit of power, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah, what the prophets have been doing. I'll finish this out and you got it. It says, "But do not panic, don't be afraid when you hear the first rumor of approaching forces, for rumors will keep coming year by year. Violence will erupt in the land as the leaders fight against each other, and just want to bring to that point, eventually violence will erupt. All right, this could be a part of it, of violence erupting, but it will erupt. You know, that's an explosion. You know, you think of a volcano erupting. You know, it's a built-up tension, so to speak, and then all of a sudden, man, lava is spewing out of the, you know, the volcano. All right. So it's the same thing, man. The different things that have been, the tension that's being built up on all these different fronts and different aspects, whether it's the economic bubbles, eventually the economy is going to collapse. All right. They've been warning you about these different diseases. Eventually, diseases are going to start taking people out in a mass number. You know, they've been warning you about troops coming in and militarizing and all these different sea-hipping camps that elders and apostles have been warning for decades. Eventually, people is gonna be in these camps and being dealt with, man.
Yeah, they're not spending money on these things just for nothing. They didn't buy all them caskets for nothing. You know, DHS didn't buy all those. That was years ago. They bought all those hollow points. All right, they didn't dig all them graves for nothing. They didn't build all those facilities for nothing. They have railways. All right.
Or order the guillotines.
Yeah.
And the sea-hipping. I remember you did a lesson.
The pit has been dug for you people for a long time ago, man.
Sword is sharpened.
Yep.
The sword is sharpened, you know.
I got something. This is Proverbs 17 and 14. It says the beginning of strife is the beginning of strife is as when one letteth out water. Therefore, leave off contention before it be meddled with. So, just applying it to, because the brother was reading about how violence shall break out suddenly. And we're seeing the contention on all sides already. So it ain't no leaving off it. Now it's like that water that's building that pressure up, man. You know, when you read that in the NLT, it says Proverbs 17 and 14 in the NLT. It says starting a quarrel is like opening a floodgate. Now a floodgate, that's the gate that holds all the water back. So you can't just open it just to let out a little bit because that pressure is back there.
It's gonna burst.
So then it's just gonna come. So that's how these different quarrels and this contention in this country and around the world, right, on a grand scale, this is how these things is gonna pop out or pop open, man. You know, and these different judgments is gonna hit these people hard. Can a brother hold that in Isaiah 28 chapter?
It's 30. Breach ready to fall.
Yeah, or is that the 30th chapter?
It's 30. You
Okay.
said 28 yesterday. That's what happened.
Yeah, the 30th chapter. I mean, I be thinking it's you know,
Yeah.
where it says that these are a rebellious people, you know, but just going into the point of judgment and how this judgment is just going to break forth on these people, you know, like the brothers was going into. They didn't order all those guillotines for no reason, man.
Coffins.
They didn't order all those coffins. The military ordered all those hollow points.
All this
They
legislation.
didn't do all that for no reason. All these different facilities that's been vacated and that's been built.
A lot of
You know?
stores been shut down.
Walmarts and
used,
everything.
Yeah, bro,
Yeah.
these are all concentration camps, man. Or what they're gonna call is re-education centers, man. We gonna re-educate you, dog. You know, that's the mentality, man. And years ago, man, starting with our apostles on down, years ago, we were going into these different things, man, about the red list, about the blue list.
FEMA list.
You know, about the I think it's the red, blue, and green, if I'm not mistaken, man.
I think that's all.
Where the red list was like, look, terminate them niggas straight through the door. It ain't no re-educating those guys. We would be included in that red list, man.
Street preachers.
Because they looking at us like, nah, it ain't no reforming these niggas. Get them out of here. Then you got the blue list, which they are capable of reformation. So
That's the ones on the comment board. They might not be teaching or anything,
Right.
but they're following the online groups. And
so
they're,
yeah,
you know,
so we can threaten them or
Yeah.
we can, you know,
They
put
might
these
fold.
certain things and they able to be re-educated.
yeah.
And the green list is, hey, these the motherfuckers that are already going for our policies. So these things is already out there. The brother was saying what the Rex 84, the King Alfred,
Project Megiddo.
you know, and then they had Project Megiddo. And then when you Google these things now, they'll tell you, oh, this is fiction, this is
Conspiracy.
fake, or this is came out of it. No. But see, years ago when these things were being brought out, this was facts that was put on actual laws and
Documents.
legislations, man.
Easily accessible.
You see? But then they try to make it seem like we crazy or like we don't, like we're the conspiracy. No. This is what this devil has planned for you people of America, man. More specifically, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you Jakes. This is who it's geared toward. Why do you think this whole election? Look at this every election that comes to pass. Who do they gear these elections toward?
Jake.
Why?
Yeah.
Hold on. Don't they say that Jakes are the minority in this country?
Right. But they trying to get all you. They need all you niggas.
But why is they geared? Why every campaign is geared towards the quote unquote black vote?
I want your energy into this system.
Why?
Latino vote. Yeah.
Because they want your participation. To vote is you what? You putting a vow towards this system. So whether you choose Trump or Kamala, you're in vow of this system.
Yeah.
You're in worship. Brother, whole Revelation the 13th chapter, man.
Souls of men.
Because all these people that are caught up with this election and with the flow of how this world or this society flows, they are in worship of the beast. That's why the scripture says the whole world wandered after the beast. So these people that's caught up in these elections and all that, Esau don't give a fuck whether it's Trump or Kamala. In his mind, you're bowing that vow. You're bowing the knee. And this is why a lot of the majority of these campaigns are geared toward you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. At the side of their mouth, they're saying how you the minority. But then when you look at their campaign, it's all campaign toward. Look at Kamala Harris.
They need niggas to vote.
You got Beyonce, Sexy Red. You got all
Cardi
these niggas
B.
at her what they call it, rallies or at her fun speaking or whatever the fuck you call them, man. Why is that? But you niggas supposed to be the minority though.
She in the black church.
Right, where's Kid Rock, man?
You're the minority, so why should your vote? Why should it? You know.
Yeah,
But these majority of these campaigns is geared towards you, Jakes, because it's a spiritual thing that's connected to this, man. You see,
It's more than just a vote.
they want your soul. They want the
your
soul. And I'm not saying it in the form of Shang Tsung.
Shang Tsung.
Your soul is mine, and this nigga just absorb your shit in the portal. Like we ain't talking about that,
Hey,
man.
them strong ass shit.
We're talking about your attention, your energy, and your effort is being put towards this society and this system.
Yep.
You're just being put toward a false god. You see, our energy, our effort, our mentality, our vibration, our essence of who we are is supposed to be geared toward our Creator, man.
Yeah.
But Esau pushes it to where your effort or energy is geared towards seeking Him. You know?
They show you that in the Matrix, man. Because what were they called? They called if you were in the Matrix, they called you a copper top. Okay? Because all your energy basically went to the Matrix. That's everything you did, and just to back up what the brother said, man. So they want the soul. That's why it says in Revelations it was found in her slaves and the souls of men, man. They want the mind of Jake, man.
Revelations 13.
Yeah, hit it when you got it.
You want verse 8? That dwells on the earth shall worship him.
Start at 1.
Come. Revelation chapter 13 and verse 1. And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and I saw the beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And upon his horns 10 crowns.
And upon his horns 10 crowns. Now mind you, when you go from the 12th chapter to the 13th chapter, in the vision of the 12th chapter, when Daniel first seen this beast, it's the same, the 7 heads and 10 horns. So basically it's the same beast he's seeing. But in the 12th chapter, mind you, he saw the crowns on those 7 heads.
Yep.
Because that represents the pagan Roman Empire, right? And how those power structures was the Greece and Germania Minor, Germania Minor. Those were the vassals that made the Roman Empire so great. So now when we jump to the 13th chapter and those crowns are on the 10 horns, what does that represent? The EU. So America's power structure, or the EU and NATO's power structure, or the vassals, is made up of these countries, man.
Right.
You see? Go ahead.
Yeah, that's how they got control over the power over the earth. The economics of the entire world. You got the America having the petrodollar and everything like that, but economics is being flown or is being controlled by the elites of this society, man.
Yeah.
And then you got the military.
They govern the dispersion, for lack of a better word, the distribution of resources.
Exactly.
Exactly. With America at the head of that, which is why in Revelation the 17th chapter it talked about how the whore rode the beast.
Yeah.
And in that same 17th chapter, that beast had 7 heads and 10 horns, man.
I think that chapter mentions it, calling it a scarlet colored beast.
Scarlet colored beast.
You know, and scarlet is what? That's red. You know, showing you that
I
it's
think that's the
evil.
12th chapter.
Yeah, it might be. But nevertheless, it
It's
shows
the same power structure,
yeah,
though.
it's an Edomite power structure. It's a reason. Even when you go into Daniel, it doesn't mention the different colors of the beast was this color and that animal, but it's specifically letting you know this is a red, this is a scarlet covered beast. Why? Because this is an Edomite power structure.
Yeah, then you have the 3 city states, which is I think it's like London. You have the Vatican is the it's like the spiritual
It's the religious part.
the religious part of it. I think London is the
Financial.
financial.
Washington, D.C. is military.
is the military, and through that that's how they control the whole earth, man.
Yeah, because when you look at NATO, you got to look at NATO as an alliance of these different nations and their military. So it's like
And that's how they control. That's,
and that puts
you
the
know.
teeth behind Esau being able to do all these different things and whatnot, because it's like, look, nigga, we not only do we have embassies in all these different nations throughout the earth, right? You set up a military in all these different nations and these different areas throughout the earth, but if you come up against any of those different nations, then NATO's coming down, So that's why it's like just showing you the power, because people be like, oh man, why don't these nations do this and that and the third? It's like, nah, this power structure that they have is a powerful, it's a force to where Russia can't just go, nigga, I'm just drop a bomb on these niggas. Now that's why it says it's an alliance, all right, it's an alliance of nations that's gathered with Russia, all right, to be able to come up against that NATO power structure, What you got?
Go ahead, out.
Back in Revelation 13:1, it says, "And saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns. Upon his heads the name of blasphemy. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat."
So that old Roman system, man. That old Roman system is what has reinvigorated, for lack of a better word, this system.
Yeah. Going back to NATO actually goes back. I forget if it's Latin or if it's French, but it goes back to
I think it's
being
Italian.
Italian.
Yeah.
NATO, which goes back to being born. So it's the rebirth of the Roman Empire. Even what you had, the Treaty of Rome, which was the treaty that brought in, if it's the EU, I believe it was the EU, or it might have been NATO.
It's
that
the
came
EU.
In. It's the EU, yeah, that came in on the Treaty of Rome. But they're going after those same old power structure, man.
It says, "And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed."
And his deadly wound was healed. So that's the revised Roman Empire, man. So what we're seeing is that old Roman system reimagined in today's time. And we saw how that governorship got its beginning. It was through the leopards, which is what the Greeks. It was through the leopards. It was through the Greeks, which represents the leopard, man. Go ahead though.
It says, "And his wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast."
And all the world wandered after the beast, man. Let's keep reading that.
"And they worshipped the dragon which gave power unto the beast. And they worshipped the beast, saying, Who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him?" And there
And
was
that goes back into.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, he said prideful, but it's really they're that strong.
Yeah,
Who is able to make war? They're actually that strong.
that goes back to what your call was saying.
Exactly.
This is why Russia need, Gomer. This is why the BRICS nations came together. This is why BRICS came together, man.
Because because BRICS is a direct, attack, for lack of a better words, against that economic power structure. They literally came together to combat the power that the West has, over the economy.
Keep in mind that Daniel 7, where it spoke about the great iron teeth, it talked about Rome. If I'm not mistaken, I knew it. Bro, I said it was gonna happen.
You said it.
I knew it.
Like,
But
watch the
when
board.
you speak about when you read that in the book of Daniel, it talks about how if I'm not mistaken, it says none can stand before this beast. It's stamped and the residue. I'm roughly paraphrasing that. Daniel 7, 7 and 9, 7 and 7, I think it should be.
Daniel chapter 7 and verse 7, it says, after this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly.
Mm-hmm.
And it had great iron teeth.
Bro, it says strong exceedingly. So when you
Yeah.
go into like back then, that ancient pagan Rome, bro, you couldn't just deny, you know what I'm saying? Nah, I ain't fucking with y'all.
Shit.
Like, nah, bro, you niggas get out or lay down. They was the beans of the day. You know, brothers, you know, the state property, you know, the movie State Property. You know, he was taking over everything, man. Well, that's how the Romans was back then.
Get out of
You know, don't worry about it. I don't try to, you know. But go ahead up.
And it had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of it.
Right, and you even see an example of that. You know, when it was Obama. I forget which African nation he was going to. You know, and they was pushing that alphabet agenda shit. And then it was like, look, you know, we'll continue to, you know, provide you resources and help you out and do this and that and the third if you accept this agenda. You know, but it's like, if not, we're gonna cut off, you know, you getting certain resources and everything like that. So being able to have that ability to cut off you from having certain resources and then bringing in the military to control certain things and so on and so forth. You know, so that's the type of power that America has. All right, and these other nations, man. You know, and that's why Trump was walking around so bold and stout, you know, when he was in office and everything like that, having these different meetings, you know, because when you go into NATO, America is the biggest funder, you know, as far as like financially and everything like that, even into NATO and everything, you know. So it's like they've got a big grip on the world and all these different things, man. Yeah. If you ain't with this program, we'll cut off these resources. All right, we'll cut off this.
Sanctions.
You know, sanction you here, sanction you there. You know what I'm saying? So this ain't just no light thing. Like, you know, like America's military, you could say like, you know, they got the alphabet niggas in there and everything like that. But it's like, it ain't just about America's military. They've got different militaries, even in alliance with all these other European nations, man. So you got to consider all that when you see the power behind the
Well, it's the
structure.
capabilities. You know, it's the capabilities. You got war carriers, what the fuck they call them?
Warships. Or,
You know, pretty much Esau has his Navy and his Air Force, and how the Navy is able to deploy planes wherever he, you know,
Right.
the big ass ship carriers, man. They got the fucking planes on there where they land on and they take off.
yeah.
You know, when you go into that, man, America got the most fucking aircraft carriers,
Yeah.
man. So that they can deploy.
It's like, nigga, we at
You
your
know,
door.
yeah.
Like, what
You
you
know?
say? We at your door.
We don't need troops on the floor. On you know,
On the ground.
yeah, it's full of trannies and women, but nigga, we don't need that. Like
Yeah.
now, this nigga got drones.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, all you got is a nerd. This nigga ain't seen no type of combat. You know, the nigga ain't seen no physical combat. Nigga don't know how to work a gun. All they gave that nigga was a PlayStation controller.
Damn.
And this nigga sitting in a lockdown room somewhere in America,
Nobody-
flying a drone over the Middle East.
Nobody on your side died, but everybody on their side just got blew up.
You know, but this is we were reading in this Daniel about the power and the strength of ancient Rome, and how those different countries during that time couldn't stand against Rome. It broke them down. So it's the same strength, or it's the same military capabilities today that America and the EU and the NATO has today, man. You know, you can finish it out, bro.
It says, and it had great iron teeth,
Which represents this military.
and devoured and brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of it. And it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns.
And it's those 10 horns. Now that's going into ancient pagan Rome. But going back to Revelation, the 13th chapter, it says that deadly wound was healed. So we see that same power structure, we see that same military capability back here in the earth today in the form of what we see America, EU, and NATO. You see? Go back to Revelation, brother. And what did they say in the ancient world? They said that the shadow of Rome or
The sun never set on Rome.
something about how it's vast.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You know,
the sun never set on Rome.
I know that saying, but it was something like something is vast. The something of Rome is vast, man. You know, there was another saying. I know what y'all saying. You know, the sun never sets on Rome, but that's not the one I'm thinking of. They pretty much mean the same thing, but it goes into how it's vast. You know.
The shadow of Rome is vast. That's what it says.
Yeah, that's okay. You know,
Yep.
and then once again, the shadow, what it talked about with Nebuchadnezzar,
I was just thinking about that.
how he was that tree and how they all dwelt under the shadow and under the branches, man. So that went into what his power structure and his governance that he would have. You know, so it's just showing you, man, Rome was a powerful, you know, deal back then. So now in today's time, which now it has the revised Roman Empire has conquered more than the ancient Roman Empire could ever think of, man. You know, today Esau is controlling the resources of the whole earth, man. But we could jump back.
Come. Salaki, back in Revelation chapter 13 and verse 5.
Oh, it is hot in here.
And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and
Yeah.
blasphemies.
Yeah, and he was giving him a mouth speaking great things. And what are some of those things, man? You know, you got the Ferrari dude. What the hell is his name? Yuval.
Noah.
We can make the God of the Bible as angry as we want. You know, you got the Neuralink thing. See, they're speaking great things in the form of their actions. You know, they trying to be God in the form of what the technology that this devil has, man.
T-humanism.
You know, the transhumanism. You know, with the mRNA being, you know, putting it in the vaccines and altering DNAs and all that. Those are speaking great things, man. You see, this devil is boasting himself through his actions, through his deeds.
Yeah.
You know?
Just like in Habakkuk it says, at the end it shall speak and not lie. That's the prophecies coming to pass. You know, and the different things that they're actually implementing in the earth, man, like that shit is completely against the will of the Most High. Yeah, trying to make niggas pregnant. You know,
That's crazy.
GMO foods, man.
Like,
All these things, these are speaking great things against the Most High, man.
You talking about blacking out
Yeah,
the sun?
this ain't that, and that go to show you, man. This is Esau we talking about, bro. This ain't Japhet, bro. Japhet ain't got not one satellite in the sky, man. All right, Japhet ain't doing none of this shit, man. Esau is the one splicing genes and trying to be a god
Under his governance, because you got other nations doing that as well.
Yeah.
You know, the womb transplant that the brother mentioned, how men are, they try to make men give birth. So they want to transplant a artificial womb or take a womb out of a woman and put it into a man. The Chinese is doing that. Moab is doing that. So these other nations are doing these things under the influence of Esau Edom.
Yeah.
You know? Because you got Moab with satellites in the air. But it's all under the influence of Esau Edom, man. That's what it all goes back to.
Yeah.
It goes back into Esau Edom. You see? So you got these other heathen that might have a small slice of the pie, man. Moab, Ammon, or Japhet, or whoever the hell. Elam. They all got they little portion of things, man. But it all goes back into the influence of Esau Edom. You know? That's who's in rulership. That's who's controlling all these things.
Yeah, he's the end. Esau's the end of the world, like the scripture says, man. You know, so the Lord's coming back to a world ruled by Esau Edom, man.
That's why it talks about in the book of 2nd Ezra, O thou Asia, thou.
in 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 46, and thou Asia that are partaker of the and thou Asia that are partaker of the hope of Babylon, and art the glory of her person. Woe be unto thee, thou wretch, because thou hast made thyself like unto her, and hast decked thy daughters in whoredom.
Yeah, and when you go into the Asia, not just you know, you think of Asia, you think of just Asian, Moab, Ammon, but you got India, You know, you got Russia, right? So here it is. They're still talking about the CBDCs moving things to digital, biometrics, right? They talking about these things as well, man. So that's that's in the same boat. And there was another point I was gonna make too. The elections. All these different countries of the world, they have elections.
Right. When they got a whole other structure that they used to go into.
Yeah.
Monarchy. Waters, man.
Here it is. You still got an emperor of China,
And the
but
president.
this nigga ain't controlling nothing. You got President Xi, or whatever the hell that nigga name is.
Zing.
Yeah.
Pain.
This
Zing.
this nigga is the power structure. He's the shot caller in China.
Zing, zing.
And the emperor nigga just a figurehead. This nigga ain't got. He just the emperor.
He got a decent ass job. That nigga don't gotta do shit. Just be called the emperor.
But he ain't even got no authority.
He ain't got nothing.
So that show you that they adopted the ways of America.
Exactly.
They're all under this Edomite vibration, man. They following after the ways of this devil, man. They all gonna fall with him when America goes down. Because a lot of test runs happen in China. All right, a lot of the different test runs, like the brother was going into earlier, they didn't order these coffins and the sea hips and the guillotine. They didn't order that for no reason. That shit that happened in 2020 didn't happen for no reason, man. That was all a part of a plan. It was all a part of an agenda, and we're about to see things escalate into another stage of that agenda, which is going to be more violent. All right, these past couple years have been a part of their stage to psychologically fuck. All right, the whole world. Further psychologically fuck the whole world, so that when they do move to this next stage, which is going to be a violent one, all right, it'll be easy to force the people into submission, man.
Yeah, they show you in the movie The Last Emperor, man. All right, how they were changing the structure of China. You had Edomites coming in, basically teaching them about how they do economics, how they do things. You saw that in that movie, man. That's why he was called the Last Emperor, because he was the last emperor to really run shit. You know, now you got, like the brother said, presidents, man. You know, they don't come to these meetings dressed in their ancient attire. They come with a suit and tie, man. You know.
It says,
Yeah, all these kind of either got a president or a prime minister. You know, which is after it's still that same
Western
structure, Western deal. You know. Go ahead.
verse 47, it says, Woe be unto thee, thou wretch, because thou hast made thyself like unto her, and hast decked thy daughters in whoredom, that they might please and glory in thy lovers, which have always desired to commit whoredom with thee. Thou hast followed her that is hated in all her works and inventions, therefore saith the Most High.
Mm-hmm. So that's showing you a lot of those Asian countries was with the agenda.
Yeah.
You mentioned Obama with the African country, and he was like, nah, don't bring that gay shit over here.
Yeah.
Well, that's showing you that a lot of the countries in Asia, they bent the knee to that, man.
Yeah.
You know?
And I was gonna mention, like, when they have these different think tanks, and like the UN has the UN meetings, and it's called like agenda this and agenda that, you know, and be those other amalgamations of nations. But bro, man, Moab and bro, they be all up into that shit, man. You know, which that's scriptural. You know, mentions a lot of in certain points that have mentioned Moab and Edom together. In certain instances, man, but you know they following after the ways of America. And it says in the ways that reading it again, it says, "Thou hast followed her that is hated in all her works and inventions." So the path that they're going is going to lead them to the destruction as we're reading about, man. Yeah, America going to get their ass dealt with, completely smoked, right? Wiped off the earth. But the Lord is going to address these different nations with various plagues, like it's going to say, man.
Because they're joined with them. It says, though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished. Everybody that is found joined onto them shall be thrust through. He that helping and he that is hoping shall fall all together with them. So the Lord is coming to bring all these heathens down and put them all under his footstool, man. You know, but you got it.
It says, therefore saith the Most
On
High.
his head was many crowns. He's coming to bring down all authority and dominion. Roughly paraphrasing in 1 Corinthians, the 15th chapter. All right, in righteousness he doeth judge and wage war. So going back to that Revelations, who can make war with the beast? It's going to be Yahushua. That's going to bring this devil down, man. All right, these devils is going to, because really NATO was made, all right, to combat the Soviet Union.
Exactly.
So that show you how strong the Soviet Union was getting, man. All right, and we're gonna see, you know, the BRICS and even America's own allies, all right, is gonna fucking turn on this devil, man.
Yeah.
All right, so really, it's gonna be Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai that brings down this whole power structure to set up a new heaven and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness.
Well, Esau is in Isaiah the 27th chapter. He's called Leviathan.
Mm.
And in the Job 41, when you read about the actual beast Leviathan, the Lord said, "He that created him brings his sword unto him." I'm roughly paraphrasing that, man. So if Esau is likened unto this beast,
The Lord can
only the Lord is going to bring this devil down, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Because he's the one that hardened his heart, and he's the one that allowed him to lift up himself as high as he has, so that he can bring him down, so that his name may be exalted. The same thing that happened in ancient Egypt.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why Pharaoh and the Egyptians was brought so high, so the Lord can show his power in bringing them so low. You know?
Yeah, the Lord say, "I created the smith that bloweth the coal in the fire," man.
Yep.
You know, so the Lord put the spirit on these different, scientists. And if you watch that movie Oppenheimer, whether it's according to historical fact or not, but in that movie, man, they showed you how he was having visions and dreams about that, man.
So the Lord was sealing it within him.
So that could have, just going into real life, a lot of individuals, bro, they, you got Nikola Tesla,
Yeah.
different, they gave a report of how they seen certain things in dreams.
Exactly.
And then they would wake up and
With James Cameron.
add this with this, and they'll put this element with that, and then they'll get this. And it's like, well, I got that from a dream.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's the Lord, what it says in the book of Job. In deep sleep, the Lord sealeth the instruction. I'm roughly paraphrasing the precept, man. So these individuals, man, they see certain things in dreams and in visions, man. When you watch that movie Oppenheimer, he kept having these different dreams and visions, and how he was able to,
Right.
and then you hear the different reports, or you will hear, what's the word I'm looking for? When a motherfucker write their memoir, a biography,
Autobiography.
you would hear about how, man, my life was dedicated to this.
Yeah.
And I just had an addiction towards this, and it was like, it was just pulling me to, because that's the Lord.
Yeah.
The Lord put the spirit in that individual to search that out. The Lord put that spirit in that individual to think this and to put that, and so what Oppenheimer was able to do with those different scientists, when you go into it, man, it was over 150, 200 scientists or something, man. That was all working on that project. So all those different minds, man.
Yep.
And it talks about the wise men of Teman,
Yep.
right? Which is the smartest of the Edomites, man, which are the Germans. And this is why half of the Germans went to Russia after the World War II, after Germany was defeated, and the other half went to America.
Yeah. Operation Paperclip.
You see? And what was taking place? These German scientists, they were working on a propulsion system. And that propulsion system was supposed to get them into outer space, which we, get to the moon, which we know that never happened. But that same propulsion system that they were working on turned into what? These nuclear missiles, man. Of how to get this, and instead of having to fly a plane and drop it,
Launch them.
we're gonna sit where we at. We're able to launch this into the other end of the world. So the Lord put the minds on these different individuals, man, these different scientists, to put these things together. This devil started splitting at him. Then he decided, well, what would happen if I put the atom back together? Like the Lord was putting these thoughts in this devil's mind, man. Even in that movie Oppenheimer, once that nigga seen the devastation, he said, "Look, bro, we gotta stop this." He was like, "Nah, we gotta stop this." Then you had Robert Downey Jr. You had his character, which his character played. I forgot the nigga name. I forgot the motherfucking name, but when he seen the devastation of the bomb, he said, "Yeah, we need to move to nuclear." So it was his mind that was like, "No, we need to take this a step further." Oppenheimer was like, "No." He was like, "Hell no, we don't need to do that, man." Because he was having dreams, and well, according to that movie, he was having dreams of that weapon he made destroying himself. And we know that that's going to happen. The Lord is going to cause this devil to bring himself down with his own creation, man.
His own blessing.
So it's a beautiful thing we're a part of, to be able to understand, man.
But it says the wicked is snared by the work of his own hands, man. You know, the Lord gave you enough rope to hang yourself with, because that's what you were created to do. The scriptures call you the son of perdition, man. All right? Perdition means destruction. You're created to destroy and then be destroyed. That's why the Lord created you for, man. You know?
Real quick, this is Isaiah chapter 54 and 16. Go ahead.
Oh, kind. It says, verse 16. It says, "Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for
So
his work."
the brother said earlier, the modern day Smith, all right, is the scientist making these weapons, these nuclear weapons, in the book of Isaiah, the 9th chapter, the 5th. Go ahead.
Isaiah 9 and 5, it says, "For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire."
So that's what's going to determine this war. It doesn't matter, you know, we see how the Russians train, we see how even the Chinese train. And then you look at the American army is full with a bunch of bati boys, a bunch of females, menstruating female. That's not going to be the key to victory in this war. All right, it's going to be them nuclear missiles. You know, it's not going to be hand-to-hand combat. It's not going to be how good your soldiers are. It's going to be how strong your weapon cache is, how strong your armory is, being, you know, them nukes and those atomic bombs, and, you know, that's how this war is going to be fought as this is going to go into.
It says, "For unto us a child is born."
Read that 9 and 5 again.
Isaiah 9 and 5, "For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire."
Which is them nuclear missiles. And as we're reading in this Isaiah, the 54th chapter, is the Lord's that created them. In the book of Isaiah 13, it says the weapons of the Lord's indignation to destroy the whole land thereof.
He said, "I've opened my armory."
In the book of Jeremiah, he says he's going into his armory, which is, you know, he used you devils to make it. He used you devils on earth to make his missiles so that he can destroy America, man. Real quick, this is the book of Isaiah 13 and 5. It says, "They come from afar." Start at verse 4. It says, "The noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of kingdoms and nations gathered together. The Lord of hosts mustereth the host of the battle." The Lord is in control of this battle. The Lord is in control of this war. It says that the heart of the king is in the hand of the Most High. He turneth this whithersoever he goeth. Verse 5, it says, "They come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Lord, and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land." They come from a far country. Okay, that's the ICBM, intercontinental ballistic missiles, from one continent to another continent, from one side of the earth to the other side of the earth. These are the weapons of the Lord's indignation, of the Lord's wrath. All right, to what? To destroy the whole land of America. All right, to waste the whole land of America. This place is going to be a wasteland. It's going to be a desert. Okay, never to be inhabited again. That's the judgment that the Lord has proclaimed upon, all right, America. All right, while you niggas is standing in line for hours to vote for fucking goddamn Kamala, okay, or goddamn Trump. All right, the Lord's about to nuke this whole country, man.
Yeah, and the elites are preparing for it. You know?
Well, in their mind, they think it's a part of their plans.
Yeah, they preparing for it. Like, so why, like the brother said, like, why you regular, you know, peon Americans are voting and, you know, waiting for the election? These people are ready to go under the underground, man. All right, it says, "Flee ye, turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of Dedan, for I shall bring the calamity of Esau upon you," man.
Yeah.
They have whole undergrounds. Listen, man.
And what's the calamity of Esau? It says, "My sword shall be bathed in heaven, and it shall come down upon Idumea." Idumea is the Greek way of saying Edom. It's talking about the Edomites. Specifically, it's talking about America, man.
Yeah, because it says they're gonna say to the rocks to fall on us, man.
Yeah.
Now, hide in the face of the land.
I got
So,
you.
you got that?
This is Revelation 6 in verse. This is Revelation 6 in verse 11. Salakia. Verse 12, it says, "And I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood, and the stars fell unto the earth, even as a fig casteth her untimely figs, when she shaketh when she is shaken of a mighty wind. And that's going into the trajectory of the missiles, right? Yeshaya just mentioned that Isaiah 34 spoke about how they're going to be bathed in heaven and come down upon Idumea.
Yep.
But it says,
In Ezekiel, the 32nd chapter, it says how the Lord will brandish his sword in the sight of all the nations. You go into that word brandish, it says to hover or fly, you know? So talking about what, man? The missiles, man. Like, this is a great destruction. And once again, this destruction's been talked about from ages to ages, generation to generation. Moses, you know?
And they all gonna get shot off. You know?
all that
Because
good.
you got certain ones that they made at one point that what they're going into, the trajectory, like the brother said, like a fig tree falling, it goes into a arcing fashion. So you got ones that, you know, that they made that shoots up into the atmosphere, and then they arc, and then they come down, man. You know, but then you got certain ones, they ain't gotta get shot up all the way over there.
Right, they get like
You got hypersonic ones, man, which those are the new ones that they created. So they're all gonna get used, man. You know, they all gonna get used, you know.
I got a pretty.
Let him finish what he got and then get yours.
This is verse 13. It says, and the stars of heaven fell unto the earth.
Oh, and that's the Lord says that he's sharpening his sword in Ezekiel. These weapons are just getting better and better and better, man. All right, the Lord's giving Esau more knowledge, all right, to make these missiles even more accurate, more faster,
They
more
gonna carry more
destructive,
warheads.
and more warheads, man. All right, so it's it for this place, man. All we have to do is continue to keep our eyes single on the kingdom and serving Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai.
Yeah, because one missile is capable of carrying multiple warheads,
Right.
man. So when in Book of Revelation 9, when John heard the number of them, you know,
He heard the
he didn't
number.
say he saw it. He heard
It was told.
the number of them, man. You know, so keep in mind, one missile can carry multiple warheads, man. You know? And the warheads, according to Revelation 9, that's what do hurt,
Yeah, that's the power.
you know? Because the power is in their mouth and in their tail. The tail is the propulsion system. It's how they get from one end to the other. You know? And it breaks off in stages.
Yeah.
Just like when you see when they launch these rocket ships into orbit, you know, they break off in stages.
Yeah.
You got the first propulsion system, then once that mechanism falls off, and then another one kicks in,
Breaks off.
showing you that the rocket and the missile, that technology is synonymous, man. You know. But go ahead.
It says, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind, and the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places.
Yep, and that's that great earthquake.
Yeah.
You know, the earth reeling to and fro like a drunkard. You know.
And it spoke about the heavens being rolled together as a scroll. You see that when you see them, the effects of the missiles. Right? They call them mushroom clouds, and this is what this is speaking about. But verse 15 it says, and the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman and every free man hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb.
Yeah. So yeah, they're gonna go into the bunkers, man. You know, and they're gonna, you know, because they have supposedly it's their plan to, you know, have this destruction come so they can, you know,
Reset.
still have continuity of government and shit like that, you know. But the Lord tells you what's gonna happen. That and was that Jeremiah 16:16? We'll grab that real quick. The Lord tells you what's gonna happen, man. You know, you're not finna crawl out of the earth, you know, and implement a new world order, you know, where you're ruling, man. No, that's not what the Lord planned, man. The Lord's finna give the world to whose right it is, man. All right, Yahweh Shai is finna get his kingdom, man. The scripture says he's waited for the precious fruits of the earth, man, and have long patience for it, man. So your time is up, man, but you got it.
It says, Jeremiah 16:16, behold, I will send for many fishers, saith Yahweh, and they shall fish them. And after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill out of the holes of the rocks. That's,
So yeah, man. And that's gonna be the elites. See, you're gonna be you're going into slavery head first, man. You know, I'm thinking about that Beanie Siegel lyric, man. He said, "I take you out the world like you was born, nigga, head first, gasping for air." And that's how you going into slavery, man. You going into slavery head first, man. All right, because you elites, you're gonna be the first crops of slaves, man. Those scriptures talk about how we're gonna sever out men continual employment, man. How they gonna bury the dead, you know, how they gonna mark the dead bodies, man, for the for cleanup. Because the scripture says the slain of the Lord shall be from one end of the earth to the other, man. So those areas that are not gonna get nuked, you know, there's gonna be dead bodies from conventional, you know.
So I mean, the earth is gonna rock to and fro like a drunkard, so it's gonna cause buildings to fall from this great. They called it the Great Earthquake.
Tidal
To the
waves.
point where islands are moving, mountains are fucking folding. So how much more buildings and apartments on different various parts of the world? So that's gonna cause death around the planet, man. And the safest place to be when the nuclear missiles touch down is in the chariots, so-called UFOs, so-called UAPs. That's really the only safe place that there is, man.
Yep.
The safest place, you know, unless you're an elite like you was going into those elites, the Lord gonna have them put away. All right, and preserve them for what? Like the brother mentioned, all right, to be the first crop of slaves, man. All right, to get punished. You know, it says that the Lord's hand will search them out in the book of Amos. You know, put fetters of iron upon, yoke of iron upon their necks and upon the kings and their nobles, man. So it's gonna start with them on down to the rest of their nation.
Yeah, those are the ones that are gonna get that they have the means. Those are the men of means that have the means to hide, to escape that. They talk about how they're building a Noah's Ark, you know. But hey, the scriptures tell you what's gonna happen to you, man. You're gonna get taken out of them holes, man, and you're gonna get put right into slavery, man.
Zakari, you got your precept?
This Second Ezra chapter 16 and verse 13.
Read verse 12.
Verse 12. It says, "The earth quaketh, and the foundations thereof, the sea ariseth up with waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled, and the fishes thereof also before Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and before the glory of his power."
Right, and that shows you, like the brother mentioned about those tidal waves, man. You know, that's going to cause those earthquakes are going to those nuclear missiles are going to cause earthquakes, which are going to cause those different tidal waves, man.
Well, the earthquake.
The earthquake.
The earthquake, yeah. The great earthquake, the big one, you know, the real big one.
All right, the Lord said, "It shall shake terribly the earth."
Yeah, yeah. And he's gonna renovate the planet.
Man.
Yeah, well, Revelation 11, it says in the same hour there was a great earthquake. You know, so that's that earth reeling to and fro, man.
Like
You see
a
the
trucker.
earth about to move in a way it never moved before, man.
200 million missiles, man.
You know.
Taking that, man.
World star
Man, bro.
get jumped by missiles.
Verse 13, it said, "For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow, his arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world."
And shall not miss. And Joel says none shall break their rank. You know, so they gonna hit his target, man. They gonna all touch this bitch, man. There's not gonna be no nuclear defense system, all right, to block any missiles. They all gonna touch this place, man.
Like how they talk about how an arrow is symbolic for, you know, a male organ, right? In the scriptures, it talks about
Conversion.
a woman that's thirsty. She'll open her quiver against every arrow, and that's showing you the bitch is a harlot. She's a whore. Well, is that not what America is? America is a harlot. It's a whore.
He gonna get all types
So
of
just like
arrows.
how that Levite, his woman left and she went to play the whore,
Yeah,
and the Lord caused her judgment, man. She died by riding the carousel.
then got
Well, this
cut
is
up
what's about to take place with America. It's about to be penetrated, man. You know,
hard.
all these different missiles, man. You want to play the harlot? Well, this is the judgment of a harlot. You about to be burned.
Right, all that have been the bow
You
shooting
know?
at her.
And those different arrows just symbolic of the judgment. You want to play the whore? Now
Lovers.
you gonna die by the death of your lovers, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, or by the hand of your lovers is what I meant. You know,
Well, there's Revelation. It says, they what is it? They turned around and burned the I forgot what it was. Revelation
the
17.
10 horns.
The 10 horns. You
Shall
know,
hate the
those.
whore.
Yeah, those are the ones that were confederate with her.
Burn
You know what I'm saying? Obadiah says that as well. So shit, man. You know, you were benefiting. You guys were benefiting with each other. Hey, the Lord, shit, He gonna use them to fuck you up, man.
And that's beautiful within itself, you know, because whatever is going to take place is going to happen to cause the EU
Right.
to look at America like that, man.
Hater.
You know,
It's gonna be Israel.
man. You know,
Fuck yeah.
however the Lord
Yeah,
plays
however
out,
it is.
you know.
And we're enjoying watching the Lord play His prophecies, bringing them into fruition. You know, because it's like we read the book, and now we're watching the movie. You know what I'm saying? You read the book, but when you watch the movie, you know you get a better visual. You know of how things is happening.
Prophecies are like previews.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like when you watch the preview of a movie,
See
and
glimpses.
you sit there and you watch, and you like, man, and the preview is meant to get you enticed to go
Right,
see
right,
it.
right.
Then when you watch the movie, you be like, bro, that part was in the preview, but that part didn't line up with this part. You know what I'm saying? Because it's in the preview, it's like you getting sequences. And at the beginning of the preview, it might show you the end of the movie first. The first clip
Got
that
it.
they show you at the beginning of the
Is
preview
the
would be
end.
the end of the movie.
To get you.
You know what I'm saying? Just to get you to, you know? So that's how prophecies are, man. We don't know how it's going to play out, but we know that these different instances is there,
Yeah.
you know?
Like in the previews, it shows that Wolverine is gonna fight Hulk, but we don't know what caused them to fight. You know what I'm saying? We just know that the previews show that they're gonna fight, but we don't know what sparked that
Yeah.
fight. You know?
Like when Captain America, the third Captain America was coming out, Civil War, all you seen was them fighting each other.
Yeah.
You didn't know why, like, damn, why the fuck is Captain America and Iron Man fighting each other?
Right.
You just know that they was at odds. Until you watched the movie, then you understood what caused the rift between
The
them, man.
details.
You know?
Is that it? Uncle?
So that's what's playing out in the earth.
No more.
You know, we're telling you the previews. We're telling you, like, look, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, and this is going to happen. How those things is going to happen, we don't know. Now we can extrapolate or speculate and be like, look, this could happen, this could happen, and this could happen. You know, but at the end of the day, these things will take place, man. You know, go ahead, Al.
Verse 14, it says, Behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the earth.
In the previous
Like-
verse, go ahead.
Well, no, I was just going to mention a part of those plagues. You know, we know a part of those plagues is pestilence running rampant. Now, pestilence can run rampant via Esau releasing some shit into the air or into the food or into the water, you know. But just mass death, period. Say, you know, martial law is declared and it's all chaos and people start dying in a mass number and not enough people or cleanup crew is there to clean up those bodies. Pestilence and disease can spread just from that. You know?
Yeah.
So it's different avenues and different ways that the Lord can cause these plagues to touch the earth, man. You know?
Go ahead.
It says, verse 16, it says, like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returning not backward, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon the earth shall not return again.
Ain't no turning back. You know, the Lord, it says that His word will not return unto Him void in Isaiah 55 and 11. But when you read the 10th verse, it talks about, you know, it gives the example, you know, the rain coming down and it don't go back up. All right, that's them plagues. They're being sent forth. They're being sent, and there's no turning them back. All right, all the way down, you know, to the missiles. You know, the last plague, the final plague, when them bitches is set off. All right, it's not gonna be no stopping them. It's not gonna be sending them back. It's not gonna be calling them. You know, hitting the cancel button. No, it's over with. You know, it says that they shall think of evil thought. You know, in the book of Ezekiel. All right, and all them missiles is gonna be sent off.
Well, they ain't gonna be intercepted.
It's Isaiah 13, right?
Evil thought.
The Medes.
Yeah, it says that
Stir up the Medes.
yeah, it says that He will stir up the Medes against them, and that they shall and that America, Babylon shall have the same overthrow as Sodom and Gomorrah, and they shall not regard children, they shall not regard anything, you know. But go ahead.
It says, verse 17, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? It says, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear.
So before the arrows get shot off, there's gonna be famine. There's gonna be pestilence. There's gonna be earthquakes in diverse places. More hurricanes. More so-called natural disasters, tornadoes, civil war.
Yeah, Civil War.
People killing each other, invading each other because of the lack of bread, because of great tribulation. It's gonna be all-out turmoil and chaos. Go ahead.
The
A
be-
day like no other. You know.
Yep, Yahushua even said that in with that Matthew 24.
Yep. Beginning of sorrows.
Yeah. Yeah.
It says, the beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and
What
plague.
shall I do when these evils shall come? And that's what these people, they don't ask themselves that question. The Wadi Yahushua for allowing us to ask ourselves that question, because when we heard this, the brother was saying it earlier, the apostles been teaching this for how long? It hasn't switched up. So we heard the same warning that we're giving everybody else is the same warning that we received. And when we received that warning, we was like, man, how do we deliver? How are we going to be delivered from these disasters and these coming calamities? What the Bible tells us. All right, it says Holy Scriptures able to make thee wise unto salvation, receive with meekness the grafted word, able to save your soul, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. These different precepts, man. Isaiah 33, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of that time, and strength and salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. This is how you escape the indignation of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua that he's bringing upon this place, is by serving him in truth, sincerity, in fear, and in faith, man. All right, that's gonna, and ultimately it comes down to, you know, election. But the election, the ones that's been chosen from the beginning, that's the vibration, that's the spirit that they're moving in, man. The truth, it says in the book of John, the hour cometh and now is where the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. Okay, so the true worshipers, being the hopeful elect, they're here worshiping the Heavenly Father Yahweh in the name of his only begotten Son Yahweh Shai in spirit and in truth.
Yeah.
All right, and that's going to be their deliverance. It says in the book of Timothy, it says, in doing this, you shall both save yourself and them that hear thee. Okay?
Hey, and the rest of our people, what are they doing? They're waiting for America to get better again. Okay.
That's not even like on the. That's not even on the to-do list. It's like
It's not.
you're waiting for something that the elites, the motherfuckers that control, is in charge of America. That's not even on their to-do list.
Well, they made. Why do you think they made that movie, Leave the World Behind?
Right.
They were telling you,
Yeah.
look, man, the old world is done. Even they're done with Chesy. Okay, they're done with Christianity. All that shit served its purpose. Now they're bringing in
Next stage.
Yeah, they're bringing Satan in, man. All right, you know, they're bringing in a digital Tower of Babel, man. That's what they're doing right now. All right, and it's not going back to normal. You know, it's funny, you know, where I work at, I work with a lot of clothes, and I saw a T-shirt that said, "Normal is not coming back, but Jesus is." You know, and you know, they have a point, man. Normal is not coming back. It's not going back to what it was before 2020. You know, it's not going back. It's not going back to the way it was before 9/11. All right, it's just not going back, man. It's going forward, man.
This place is too far gone.
Yeah, man. You know.
And what they think of as normal was never normal in the first place.
So
Right.
Was that it on that?
Yeah, that was it, yeah.
Jump
Go
to
ahead.
You want me to jump somewhere?
37.
I'll jump down to 37 for you. This Second Ezra chapter 16 and verse 37 say, "Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack, as when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, within 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains, when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side."
So that's what's coming. The scripture says when they say peace and safety, then sudden destruction, man. All right. So this is the message, man. War is what you can look forward to on all fronts, whether you're talking about Civil War, World War III, food
war.
Your whole life is about to become a war zone, man. Everything. Hey, I remember, since we're talking about 2020, when the scamdemic first started, man, people were making memes. Guy with a big gun. Hey, I'm finna go grocery shopping. Well, then that's gonna be a reality, man. You're gonna have soldiers patrolling the streets, man. You're gonna have what is called summary execution, man. You're not gonna have regular police officers like you have now. These motherfuckers are gonna be Judge Dredd, man.
Yep.
Judge Dredd was a motherfucker who judged you on the spot, man.
Judge, jury, and execution.
Yeah, yeah.
No trial.
And even with all this AI, like this is gonna tie into it.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, it sounded crazy and everything like that, but yeah, they got robotic, dogs and different things like that that are used to, being weaponized and everything like that. Like, and then as you see these things happening with this whole AI shit coming out, you see clearly, like, when it says a time like no other, like you're gonna need divine intervention, like the way that he's got everything surveillance and surveilled, and it's gonna come to a point where it's like, yeah, we are the enemies, of the state, so to speak.
Right.
We're speaking against this and everything
Yeah.
like that, and it's gonna be when he comes down with great wrath, the Lord is gonna have to lift up the standard because carnally speaking, bro, you ain't getting up out of this, man. All this AI shit this nigga doing, man. This nigga really has, a power on the left hand side. You're gonna need divine intervention, man. But,
Yeah, it was Aaron Russo in the because we was
Total
talking.
Control?
Yeah, Total Control.
Total control.
Because we was talking about it before the cameras went on, but that's what they're looking for. They're looking for total control.
Yeah.
And the this digital system, the cornerstone of it being that micro C-hip, which we continue to push. We continue to. Whatever group that you're following, if they're not warning you about the MARK being the microchip, all right, if they're not warning you about it, then they're not the prophets of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai.
All these things, that's a
Clear indicator.
a clean what's the word I'm looking for? One of the chief points, for lack of a better word, that Revelation 13, but also the rest of these things, man. We talking about the Civil War. We're talking about the famine.
And
We talking about the pestilence and the plague. See, we talking about the straight gate. We talking about how hard things is gonna get, man.
being persecuted.
So being persecuted, man. Look, we're talking about these things. So if your camp or pastor, teacher, whoever that you listen to, that you follow, if they're not speaking on these things, because the Lord ain't sent them.
That's it.
The prophets that have been before me and thee of old prophesied both against great kingdoms of war, evil, and of pestilence. And the key thing he said in that Jeremiah, what Jeremiah said was prophesied against. You got guys that'll say certain things, but they're not prophesying against this place. They're looking forward to this place to continue on.
They still worshiping.
Or they're going in the community and they're standing for the community for a better. We gotta change the community. Or they standing side by side with Muslims. Somebody that completely teach something complete. That's a whole different God. But they stand side by side with these individuals for the community.
Political gain and popularity.
And that's not what the true prophets will be doing. They will be speaking against this country, against this society. They'll be speaking against. When did Elijah say, you know what? Ahab and Jezebel tripping. I know you prophets of all, y'all see that this shit ain't right. Let's stand together. When the hell did Elijah do that, bro?
He said rain fire on these bitches.
He spoke against all that. He spoke against the prophets of Baal. He spoke against Ahab and Jezebel. So it wasn't we got to come together to speak against the root. No, it wasn't none of that. The ancient prophets didn't do none of that, dog.
Unity, brother.
They spoke against all wickedness on all fronts.
Right.
And that's what the true prophets will be doing, and they will be warning you of the things that come upon this earth. As we went into yesterday on the line, man, says through the terror of the Lord, we persuade men. So we're going to tell you of the judgments to come. We're going to tell you how what it says, the king of terrors. There's another one where it says the Lord is terrible towards the sons of men. I'm roughly paraphrasing that, man. So we're going to tell you about the terribleness. And when you go into that word terrible, it goes into amaze.
Awesome.
It's awesome, you know.
Full of
So we're going to tell you about the different judgments of the Lord, man. We're going to tell you about these different things, you know. We're going to tell you about the judgments that the Lord can, you know. We ain't shying away from none of that, man. We're going to tell you that the Lord is going to start taking people off this earth in great numbers. You just had that flash flood over there in Spain, and the death toll is keep going. Right now, it's over 200.
Perfect.
But that's small work compared to the judgments that the Lord is going to start doing in the earth, man.
Yeah.
Real soon, we're going to start seeing 10, 15, 20,000 people taken off the earth in one event,
Yeah. Well, you gotta.
you know? Then we're going to see 50,000, 60,000. We're going to see these different numbers to increase, bro. And then these news outlets going to be like, oh my God, it was biblical proportions. It was something so catastrophic.
Yeah.
They're going to start using these words, man. Because there's going to be no other way you can explain these different judgments that's going to be happening in this earth.
Other than the vengeance of the Lord.
Yeah. Hey, look, they still pulling up bodies out of that place they got hit with that hurricane, right?
Oh no.
You talking about Hurricane Milton, the one that just happened?
Yeah, yeah.
Or you talking about the lead?
One of them, I
But
don't
we
know.
did North
I know the
Carolina.
lead hit the Carolinas.
Florida.
Okay, yeah.
Tennessee, it
The
hit real
drown
hard.
town. The drown town.
Yeah, that was the lead.
That was thousands of people that they said was dead, man. You know, and they still said they're still finding bodies, man. You know, I remember this was years ago, right before I met the camp. I was out in Joplin, Missouri, you know, cleaning up after all those tornadoes they got hit with. They were still finding bodies, man. You know what I'm saying? And they had got hit with multiple tornadoes. It was another racist place too. It was I believe it was a sundown town. It could have been a sundown town, but they called it Joplin, Missouri, the armpit of America. And you had a pastor. It was an actual Christian pastor that was on the radio, and he was pissing the other white people off. He was basically saying like, this judgment came to y'all because of how racist y'all is and all the shit that y'all been doing over here, man. You know, and it's funny that you know, those sundown towns got hit so hard, man. I got a quick precept if I may. This is Psalms 31. Just to back up what you were saying. It's Psalms 34 and 11. Come ye children, hearken unto me. I will teach you the fear of Yahweh. So just like the brother was going into, man. These are the things we're telling you about, man. We're trying to instill that fear that was instilled in us. You know,
Whether it's in you or not, we ain't trying to instill nothing. We're going to speak these words, and if it's in you, you're going to take heed.
We're gonna hear whether
It says that the fear of the Lord is created with the faithful in the womb.
Yeah.
So all we got to do is talk. All we got to do is read the words of the pages, man. It says, the scripture says, if any man speak, let him speak as the oracle. So all we're going to do, we're going to read these different judgments that the Lord proclaimed, man. We're going to tell you about the nuclear destruction as the Spirit had us going in earlier. You know, that Zechariah 14, I don't think brothers read it, but it says that they eyes shall melt out of their holes and their tongue shall melt out of their mouth. When you read that, like, come on, bro.
if you don't fear
Like,
that,
and you
then,
like,
there's
I
no
don't need
guarantee.
to. I don't look.
Yeah.
If I read that to you and tell you what that, and if you like, there's nothing I can do. There's no way I can try to get you to fear that.
right? The snail.
Like,
When it talks about the snail, it says, let them melt away like a slug. All right, man. I'm telling you, the Lord.
all we got to do is read these words, man.
Yeah.
We read about what the Lord did in the time of Noah.
Yep.
He drowned the whole earth and left 8 people alive.
Sodom
We can
and
read
Gomorrah.
about what he did to the 5 cities, man.
Yeah.
He rained fire and brimstone down on their ass, man. We can read and tell you about what he did to the Egyptians.
Yeah.
You see? And all these different nations that came up against us, man. What was that, 100 and something thousand
108.
Assyrians that came up against us, man?
Yeah.
You know? Or when we was coming out of Egypt, when we was fighting against the Canaanites in the book of Joshua, there was one account where the Lord said that he killed more with hailstones than we did fighting.
Yeah.
You see? So while the Christianity and this society want to paint an image of God, no, God doesn't do that. No, God's not like that. No, God, no, fuck that. The God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, our God, he's like that, man.
Man of
Oh,
war.
He's like that.
I changed not.
You see? It says that he's mighty to forgive and to pour out displeasure, man.
Yeah.
So we're here to tell you that, man. We ain't here to sugarcoat shit. Even when it comes down to our speech, a lot of people get turned off because of rough speech. Look, whatever, man.
We don't give a fuck.
You know? Straight up, man.
Hey,
We're here to tell you what it is. It says, I have not shunned to declare unto you all the counsel of the Heavenly Father, man. So this is what he purposed. He's about to bring judgment upon this earth in a form that this earth has never seen before. In Daniel, the 12th chapter, man, it says a time like none other. See, in the time of the flood, these niggas was living their merry life until what? It started to rain. You see? In the time of Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighboring cities, they was living their life until what? That fire hit their ass, man. The Egyptians, they thought they was living it up until Moses showed up. You see?
yeah.
The Lord is not going to deal with this place like that, man.
Yeah.
He's about to let these people suffer. Some of you people are about to pine away in your sins from famine. Some of you people are going to have to eat your own children, eat your own loved ones. Some of you people are going to deal with pestilence and plague. It talked about it, bro. It talked about it in that incurable disease that the Lord gave unto Antiochus, bro. How the worms rose up out of that nigga body. He was decaying while he was still alive, bro.
Yep. It's all out.
What? Nigga, your flesh rotting away. You're decaying while you're alive.
Stank.
There's worms eating your body while you're alive.
That ain't even worse.
From that swine.
You see,
like that
these
dream.
are different judgments that the Lord is going to allow to run rampant in these last days, bruh.
That's gonna get worse.
People are going to be bleeding out of their eyes and ears, pus out of your goddamn side of your head.
Ew.
It's going to be all type of just wild.
Strange calamity.
Crazy shit.
Strange calamities and great misery shall be done to them in the last
Bro.
times because they have walked in great pride.
In the law, Joe, in Deuteronomy 28 chapter, if I'm not mistaken, it talks about the Lord bringing all diseases that's written in this book and that's not written in the book. I'm roughly paraphrasing that, bro. So you got this devil, this nigga done digged up a bone from the goddamn Middle Ages, and this nigga, dude, this is the bubonic plague fucking cell, and
Crazy.
this nigga done splicing, making shit, and
Mixing it with other
nigga done created a mosquito to carry the shit over here. Like, this dude is diabolical, man.
Bugged out.
That nigga is bugged out.
But the Lord allowed this devil to do all this for what? For the punishment of you niggas that in the days we coming into.
Boy, that's his sword.
Being sharpened.
That's his sword.
And while you people listen to it and be like, oh, these niggas crazy. Oh, that's far-fetched.
Alright.
Okay.
Only a dumb nigga would say that.
You know? Okay, I ain't finna argue with you, dog. Like, all right, my nigga.
Well, that's why Scripture says these is natural brute beasts made to be taken and destroyed, speak evil of the things they understand not.
When that
And
you
so-
take, it's like it, brother. Go ahead.
It shall utterly perish in their own in their own stupidity, man. But I know they'll probably don't say that, man. But they shall perish, you know, because as they speak evil of the things they understand not, man. And they're brute beasts. So we're not gonna sit here and argue with a brute beast. You know, a whole goat standing in your face, man. You know, whatever noise the fuck they make, man. You know, you gonna fucking argue with him? No, we understand that 2/3 of our people, the wicked of our people, period, they're not gonna hear this. They're brute beasts that are made to be, what it says, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. Okay, I shall no more suffer them to dwell in the land of Egypt. You people are cattle. You're on a conveyor belt, and you're going into a damn meat grinder, man. And we're sitting here telling your ass, hey, go the other way. But we also understand that not everybody is meant to go the other way. The majority of you motherfuckers are meant to go in that meat grinder, man.
Yep, it's gonna be a mutated mosquito the size of a dragonfly.
Shit.
You know, they're just gonna pull up on there and keep it. Bro, one of the plagues of Egypt was locusts that the Lord, bro, it says that the Lord created those locusts just for that purpose, and the earth never seen that type of locust before again.
Ever again.
And he said, I will send the plagues of Egypt upon this place again. So the Lord can easily form a goddamn bug, a goddamn, you know, or he can easily have Esau do this shit through splicing genes and shit,
Bro,
bro.
they show you in that movie. I don't know if you remember that movie Mimic, man. You had these fucking, basically they had these bugs that were genetically modified to kill roaches, right? Because they had a roach problem. But the motherfuckers started mutating this shit, man, and they turned to like men, and it looked like a mimic to man. So you'll think that you on a fucking you in a goddamn train station and shit. You think you see a damn man at the end of the damn train station. Whole time the nigga's a whole fucking bug, man. You know, that was a bugged out ass movie, man. Was bugged out.
The locust the size of a goddamn Brock Lesnar.
Damn.
Bro, man.
Beating your ass.
Like, man, the Lord's finna bring, hey, but, you know, we read these things, man, and the Lord did these things, man. The Lord brought fucking strange calamities on you know, when you go into Wisdom of Solomon, it even goes into further about the shit that happened, you know, because it doesn't really so much tell you all the things, you know, when you read in the Exodus, you hear about more of those things that happen when you read Wisdom of Solomon. Strange apparitions, man. All right, having their minds, fucking with their mind. Yeah, newly created creatures, man.
No, the Lord said he could have sent newly created
Oh, yeah,
creatures,
could
but
have,
He didn't
yeah,
say
yeah.
he did.
Oh yeah. Come on, yeah. You know, but hey, you know,
It's showing you the possibility. These
Yeah.
are things that the Lord can do.
can do.
You know?
You know, so yeah, man.
For instance, those locusts were newly created, man.
Yeah.
So these are things that the Lord is very capable of doing, man.
Right. When the Lord made all of creation, he didn't run out of ideas. You know, he still got a whole, you know, he can make whatever he wants.
Bro,
Yeah.
Just like that, it's on the earth in, you know what I'm saying, and to do whatever he wants it to do.
Even when it comes to death. I remember as a shorty, Joe, I used to, this show used to come on, man.
1,000 Ways to Die.
1,000 Ways to Die, bro. And you would
Yeah,
watch
bro.
that, bro, and bro, it's like, bro,
Wow.
motherfuckers died in ways you never heard of, bro.
Like, what the hell is
It's
that?
like people died in the most weird.
A new way.
It's like, bro, like
I
a
never,
nigga died like that.
I never thought of it.
But it says in the scriptures how the Lord killeth and maketh alive. So the Lord is bringing forth these different ways
I gotta
that these people are dying, man.
Damn,
Just like in the wilderness when he opened up the earth. So we're going to tell you about these things to show you that, look, Yahweh Basham Yahushua is not nothing to play with. While you niggas run up and down, you playing all goddamn day, man. You know? You take everything for a joke. The Lord ain't nothing to play with, man. Go ahead, Op.
Sirach 39 and 28, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out their force, and appease the wrath of him that made them. Fire, so the Lord creates spirits for vengeance, fire and hail, famine, and death. All
Yeah.
these,
Like a good example is Jeffrey Dahmer.
I was just thinking.
You had this Edomite. What was he doing?
killing Bati boys.
Yeah, Jake's. You know,
The trash.
a lot of the fruitful Jakes, man.
Fruit flies.
You know, fruit roll-ups.
Fruit flies.
You know, yeah, fruit fly.
Fruit,
You know,
fruit cake.
that was a spirit created for vengeance against who? The Lord's people. You niggas ain't supposed to be doing that, man. So the Lord had this nigga born in the earth to do his purpose.
Yeah.
The name itself, Dama,
Yeah.
which goes back into blood.
Yeah. The Hebrew Dam, or is it Dama? Or
Dam.
Dam, yep. It says fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance.
And that's just a man that had
That's
his,
one,
you know.
yeah. And there's gonna be a bunch of Dahmers. There's gonna be a bunch of Skeletors.
Trying to pipe up.
all right.
Hectors.
They're just gonna be released. All right. They're talking about releasing niggas from the prisons.
I
If they
think his
get
name
that-
was Diego.
Man, he's Hector and everything. Boy.
Diego
Hey,
Knight.
Fast and Furious, he Hector and everybody.
Diego Knight.
It says teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword punishing the wicked to destruction. They shall
And
rejoice.
you notice the Lord mentioned what? Creatures as well.
Yeah.
You know?
Scorpions.
It was a report a couple of weeks back, man. It was some chick just riding a bike, and it was a whole family of otters.
Damn.
Bro, it's
Otters?
otters, bro, just attacked this bitch. And, you know, There was one about this lady. She was jogging early in the morning, and it was a pack of Great Danes, bro.
Oh, 25 Great Danes.
Bro, it was a pack of Great Danes, bro. Mauled her ass, bro.
Ass, bro.
And they said, and they was like, oh, well, she goes for her morning jog every morning, and it was just unfortunate. Like, no, the Lord had that done, man.
25 of them
It's
bitches.
gonna be a lot of
Maul you?
what is that? I used to read the book Series of Unfortunate Events. A series of it, meaning it's just
Continue.
unfortunate, yeah, just unfortunate after
A snowball effect.
exactly. It just gets worse and worse, and then each event is more unfortunate and is more deadly, man. It says in the book of Amos, it says that the day of the Lord is as if one fled from a lion and a bear met him, ran into the house, all right, leaned his hand upon a wall and the serpent bit him.
That's unfortunate.
That's unfortunate, you know, because you know you escaped the lion. That's man. How did you escape? And you didn't escape without without any scars. But then you run into a house with a angry bear, or not run into a house with the angry. But it's giving an analogy. All right, it's giving an analogy of how the Lord's judgment is going to be inescapable. There's no escaping His judgment, and things is just going to get worse and worse for these people, man.
Bro, that remind me of Final Destination.
Yeah.
You know, because they try to skip their turn from dying and try to survive and then still get caught in the end.
It says in the book of Ecclesiastes that there's no discharge in that war. All right, when it's time, when the Lord require your spirit, He's gonna require your spirit. But before He does that, He's gonna, like the brother was saying, He's gonna take you through a bunch of judgments. He's gonna take you through a famine. It said, "Many shall perish of famine." Famine is a
That's
death
gruesome.
that takes time.
That's a bad way to
Exactly.
go.
Yeah. It says, "Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword."
Even being bit by a serpent.
Yeah. That blood
You know, they
coagulate.
talk about how your blood starts to thicken.
The
Stiff
blood clot, yeah.
You know,
blood clot.
so just the pain that go, you know.
Same with that venom. That might,
You know you're gonna die. Oh, but and then the different diseases that have come on the cattle, mad cow disease and the fucking deers turning into zombies or whatever, and they biting humans, and then now humans biting other humans and shit, and then the shit's just spreading around. You know, it says there's a lot of shit that's gonna happen. It's gonna happen fast. It's gonna just hit this bitch out of nowhere. It says, "And the sword punishing the wicked to destruction, they shall rejoice in His commandment, and they shall be ready upon the earth when need is, and when their time is come, they shall not transgress His word." All right, and their time is coming. Their time is approaching, man, where the Lord's going to release these spirits of vengeance to do just that. All right, to get vengeance. You know, that's it on that.
Yeah, the scriptures talk about it's the time of vengeance.
Yep, the day of the Lord's
You know,
vengeance.
if we ain't got anything else, man, let's pull that Sirach 18. It starts where it says, think upon the wrath that shall be in the end. I'm not sure the verse, I just know it's Sirach 18.
Verse 24.
Sirach chapter 18 and verse 23. Before thou prayest, prepare thyself, and be not as one that tempteth the Lord. Think upon the wrath that shall be at the end, and the time of vengeance.
In the time of vengeance. Think upon the wrath that shall be at the end, and the time of vengeance. So this is the time that we're in, man. You know? Isaiah the 34th chapter. It talks about the controversy of Zion. See, when the Lord returns, whoever is not deemed a citizen of Zion, bro, you catching smoke. Because the Lord looking at it like, look, this judgment that I'm bringing is upon this nigga, Esau Edom, who has done all this wickedness unto my chosen. And if any of you niggas is with this nigga, you going down with him, bro. This is how the Lord looks at this, man. Who's ever on this nigga's side when I return, you're going down with him. I don't even give a damn if you Israelites. That's how the Lord look at it. Like, if you on this nigga's side, bro, you about to get done with, man. You know? Yeah. This is how the Lord is viewing this, man. So it says, think upon the wrath at the end and the time of vengeance. The Lord said, vengeance is in the year of my redeemed. How did He say it? I don't want to butcher it.
Vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeemed is come.
Right, you know? So the Lord is thinking about this, man. You know, it's in His mind. Like, you know, rubbing his hands together.
Man, I can't
You know what I'm
wait to get
saying?
these niggas. He
Like,
called out-
man, you know?
Yeah.
Can't wait to get these
You know,
niggas.
I'll rise up against the prey.
Like, look, bro, as eager as the Lord is ready to whoop a nigga ass, bro, I don't want to be no parts of that, bro.
What?
So it's telling us to think upon the wrath that shall be in the end. What end? The times that we in today. The time of vengeance. We're in the times of vengeance, man.
It says, I have long time holding my peace. Now shall I cry like a travailing woman, man. That's that, hey, the Lord gonna crack them clouds, man, with that battle cry, man.
Man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
this is,
that anger gonna start before that, man.
Yeah. Well,
You know? In the form of pestilence and plague and disease. In the form of famine. The Lord said, I will send the evil arrows of famine.
Sheesh.
The Lord said, when I will break the whole staff of bread and the whole staff of water, man. Now in Isaiah 3, it was talking about, you know, what the Lord did to us, how he destructured us, he destroyed us, right? He said, I will take away the
stay, the staff.
the order, the great order. I will take away, you know, basically the structure. Lord is about to do that into America, man. He's about to destructure this place and break this place down, man. Go ahead.
It says, think upon the wrath that shall be at the end, and the time of vengeance when he shall turn away his face.
When he shall turn away his face, man. You know? And the Lord's face, his presence, represents what? That favor, represents that mercy. That's why throughout the scriptures, there's our forefathers praying and says, Lord, you know, shine thy face upon thy servant. Even in Numbers, the 9th chapter, you know, the anointing prayer, you know, that Aaron would pray over the people. You know, cause thy face to shine, Yabaraka, Yahweh, Yashamaka. You know, we would ask the Lord to cause thy face to shine upon us, man. But the scripture says he's about to remove his face. Mainly, it's talking about how he's going to withdraw his prophets, man. And when his prophets' mouth cleave, what it says, their tongue shall cleave to the roof of their mouth, that thou shalt be not a reprover unto these people. So if you're not getting the correction, if you're not getting the guidance, that means it's a wrap.
No more compassion.
You know? So we got to get it while while we have this opportunity, man. There's a precept where it says that I have heard thee in a time accepted, you know, in an acceptable time. So seek Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai while he may be found. We have to call upon him while he is near, man. You know? Because it's going to be a time where vengeance is going to be out here. You think the Lord want to hear you cry? That's that Zechariah. When I cried, you didn't hear me. So when you cry, I'm not going to hear you. You know? So we can get the closing priest.
I'm gonna jump up. Verse 20, it says, before judgment, examine thyself, and in the day of visitation, thou shalt find mercy. So like the brother is speaking about the various judgments, before that, we should be in the spirit of heavy examination, you know, so we don't find ourselves as enemies to the Lord, to whom he set his mind to. I can't wait to get this nigga. Like, hell nah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do not want to be one of them.
Right.
Like, I can't wait to get, man, what? I'll pass. You know, and that fear should drive us to move in the right spirit. You know what I'm saying?
One real quick. This is Psalm 7 and 11. It says that the Most High power judgeth the righteous, and the Most High is angry with the wicked every day. So the Lord is coming back angry, man, and he's about to come and visit this place and appease that anger that he has at this wicked world that we in. It says,
Oh, go ahead.
go ahead.
No, because the scriptures say, he says, think not that I'm coming to send peace on earth, but a sword. So the Lord coming to rain judgment.
That's it. And with that sword, hey, it's gonna eventually bring peace for his people, you know. Reading on, it says, if he turn not, he will whet his sword. He have bent his bow and made it ready. He have also prepared for him the instruments of death. And that's those ICBM missiles that's gonna come those arrows about to come and run a train on this horse. All right, and it says he ordained his arrow against the persecutor. Behold, he travaileth with iniquity and have conceived mischief and brought forth falsehood. But that's the point, that the missiles is coming back to the missiles is coming to destroy this place, man, and cleanse it out with that fire and bring that righteous kingdom to this place, you know. That's pretty much it.
I got this one.
Bring it out.
This is 2 Peter 3 in verse 11. It says, seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness? That word conversation going into your manner of life or your conduct. So seeing that these plagues is gonna come upon the earth, with that main plague being the nuclear missiles, how are you to conduct yourself? It says, looking for and hastening unto the coming of the day of the Most High, when the heavens, being on fire, shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. So we just got to move in that fear and in the faith of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, like Noah did, and like it says in Hebrews 11:7. He heard the things that was going to come to pass, and he moved with fear and built that ark to the saving of himself and his household. And we're doing that today through the Spirit.
Yeah, scripture talk about laying up a good foundation for the days to come. You know, and I'm thinking back to that, like the early '80s and the late '80s, man. You know, you had more of a fear of, because you had like what the Cuban Missile Crisis, you know, that happened like years ago. You know, it was a big scare about what was going to go on with Russia and their nuclear program, and they, alliance with Fidel Castro at the time. You had more of a fear in people. They talked more about Judgment Day back then. You know, they had more of a consciousness towards the end. You know, nowadays people are just TikTok heads, man. You know, these people are completely oblivious, man. You know, and the Lord made it like that for a reason. You know, so you can be caught unawares. You know.
So that's it. Thanks the Lord will. You know, we hope this was edifying. Dua to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shah, giving us the spirit to do this lesson. We don't give all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Hakodash.
Double honors to our apostles and our bishops, great millstone, peace, blessings, and salutations to all you brothers preaching the gospel in truth and sincerity, all in charity. Shalom.